Hi, and welcome to the episode 5 of Coffee with Enyx. In this episode, we will cover the new pattern matching capabilities of our nxAccess solution. First, a little more about us. At Enyx, we've been using FPGA technology to bring solutions to market in the finance industry for the last 10 years. So FPGA really is in our DNA. One of the first solutions that we brought to market is our Enyx Link solution, which today powers about 80% of the wireless link in this industry. In the previous episode, I was able to cover our FPGA-based feed handler, Enyx Feed, and I would invite you to watch that video afterwards if you're interested. The product that we will talk about today is our FPGA tick-to-trade solution, nxAccess, and of course we'll talk more about this soon. And then finally, the last product that we brought to market is our FPGA development framework, Enyx framework, and I also covered that in a previous episode, so feel free to watch that. Finally, we are happy to be trusted by more than 100 customers day in and day out with our FPGA solution today. All right, let's talk about nxAccess. So up until today, nxAccess looked something like this. At the bottom of your screen, you can see that in the FPGA, there is a full-blown feed handler that was in charge of decoding, normalizing, and processing the market data before handing it off to the hardware business logic as well as to the software trading application. The hardware business logic was then able to react to those events and trigger orders that were previously preloaded within the execution engine. For less latency sensitive trades, the software trading application was also able to trigger those orders through the B data paths shown here. Finally, the software trading application was also able to directly send orders to the exchange through the direct send bus highlighted as C on this diagram. So the feature that we announced today is a pattern matcher, which is directly in the FPGA and in charge of extracting as quickly as possible key field and data from the raw market data. The pattern matcher is here purely for latency play. So looking into more detail about what it is, it really is two ultra-low latency decoders. The goal here is to have a solution which is message and protocol aware to always accurately extract fields from messages no matter where they are in the UDP payload. After this, we've added some optional logic that you can disable or enable depending on your needs, such as very simple A/B arbitration to make sure that your trading logic is only going to be notified once for a given message, as well as some price normalization. The price normalization is here to make sure that the price format is going to be the same than the one outputted by the feed handler. Again, this is optional. If you don't need it, you can remove it. Looking into the performance, we just used our typical tick-to-trade reference design, which is provided with every nxAccess release. And we first ran that test with the feed handler in charge of outputting book updates as well as trade summary message. The algorithm then is very simple. When the trade summary message is received, it's going to look at the price difference between the trade summary price and the last book, and if that difference is higher than a certain threshold, it will trigger an order to the exchange. So running that test, we can see here that the average performance is around 576 nanoseconds. Now we run exactly the same test, still with the feed handler outputting books, but the trade summary message comes from the pattern matcher, and we can see instantly that latency reduction is significant. The minimum will reduce by 223 nanoseconds and the maximum by 557 nanoseconds. Again, the pattern matcher is here to open doors for more latency sensitive trading strategy for our customers. For the one that we're paying attention, you can see here that the maximum latency is still 1.3 microsecond, but the goal of this diagram is to show that it is not our fault. On CME, the trade summary message can be anywhere in the payload, and during our test, actually some trade summary message were at the very end of the payload. So that line here is showing the average packet size, and we can see that for the maximum latency, that packet size was very close to the maximum size that an Ethernet allows. If we deduct the serialization delay of the payload, just to get a grasp of the reaction time of the solution, we can see that it is between 145 nanoseconds and 175. You can find more information about this performance report online with the report that we published showcasing those numbers. So how we can help? So every nxAccess solution comes with demonstration application, software demonstration application, hardware reference design, to help you do it yourself if you want. You can take that, develop your own trading logic, test it, build a firmware and deploy it to production, and you always have access to our support if you have any question. One of the most preferred options for our customers is our jumpstart approach. Here the goal is to have a discussion with you and understand what you're trying to do and help you get there. So let's say you want to do X, we will develop for you 80% of that where you can keep 20% your secret sauce. That will lower your time to market and increase your chances of success. Finally, for customers that want it, we can also do fully maintained projects where we work with you on the specification of the logic that you want in the FPGA, develop it, test it, and provide you a turnkey solution that you can deploy directly. That's all I had for you today. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out through our website. Thank you.